Hey guys, I'm here today with Jennifer Clark. She is from Nutrition Innovations and she's a registered and licensed dietitian. And we're just going to talk today about a lot of questions that I get from you all and a lot of questions that as a trainer we may see, but we may not always be able to answer for you. So I want to be able to share this video with you guys and get some information from Jennifer so you can be better equipped and answer a lot of your nutrition and health questions. So Jennifer, tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got started in dietetics.
Okay, yeah, so I'm Jennifer. I've been a registered and licensed dietitian for 9 years. I actually started by going to nursing school, and I had to take a nutrition course before actually starting the program, and I just fell in love. I was like, I can actually help people without having to use needles or medicine. So I just changed my major right then and got started.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you have a little bit of background in health as far as the medical field too?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so tell us a little bit about being a dietitian. What are some reasons, common reasons people come see dietitians?
Yes, so gosh, the most common we see or we think of is weight management.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people wanting to get healthy and maybe lose some weight or maintain weight or even gain muscle.
Yeah.
But gosh, I can see anywhere from infancy to older adulthood, and it can be for diabetes or high blood pressure, pediatrics, just so many different.
So lots of things that we may be able to treat with food as well, like you mentioned diabetes.
Yes.
So that's just something that I love talking about holistic health and how we can really treat our bodies better and sometimes reverse some effects maybe.
Yes.
Okay, so as a trainer, and I know lots of you who are probably watching this are familiar with these two terms. So I see a lot about the keto diet and a lot about more recently intermittent fasting.
Yes.
So let's touch on both of those and tell me as a professional what your opinion is and how that correlates with weight loss and just a general person who's normally healthy, how that's going to affect them.
Right. So there's so many, you know, nutrition is so trendy. You know, it's in 1 minute, it's out the next. It's good for you 1 minute, it's not the next. And it's so confusing. So anytime there's any diet involved, fad diet, where you're taking out, entire food groups, or you're, it's okay to eat unlimited amount of something. You know, you have to think about, is this really realistic? Is it really going to work long term? And that's what we want, is long term results. So these things will work. There may be some, you may see some weight loss if that is what you're looking for, but it's not going to last. It's not going to last. So that's what I always try to tell people, and it's so much more about lifestyle changes, which, you know, is working with Patty, you know, making those lifestyle changes from all different areas.
Yes.
The ketogenic diet specifically, it's okay, but it's a really high-fat diet, and they don't seem to care about if it's saturated fat or unsaturated fat. And so saturated fats are the ones that, you know, increase your cholesterol, clog your arteries, increase your risk for heart attack and stroke. And you can be at a healthy weight and still have, you know, high cholesterol.
Right. Doesn't matter if you're skinny, you can still be harming your insides.
Absolutely, absolutely. I've seen, you know, healthy weight individuals. I've seen healthy weight children with high cholesterol.
Wow.
Because of the diet.
The diet.
Yeah.
So do you see a lot of clients who try intermittent fasting? That's like the window of
right
eating.
Exactly. I do recommend, because based on research, if you eat the right combination of foods, which we may get into, it will last you 4 to 5 hours.
Okay.
So this is the perfect opportunity to eat.
Okay.
It's about 4 to 5 hours. But if you go longer, let's say you skip breakfast, so we're going from dinner, not having breakfast, trying to fast, it's actually going to slow your metabolism down.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes.
So what if we do a dinner and then we don't eat again until lunch the next day? Same thing?
Same thing.
Okay.
Same thing. We're going way too long in between meals, so your body thinks, I'm never going to eat again.
Okay.
And so it starts to slow down the metabolism and hold on to everything you put into your mouth.
That's how we keep gaining weight.
That's how we keep gaining weight.
Okay. All right. So, and this is kind of going on that same thing. So a lot of people think the least amount of calories, small amounts of food, you know, just eating like a rabbit, restricting can be the best thing for them as far as losing weight. So can you break down the importance of what our resting metabolic rate is, what
Yes.
that means, and how that affects weight loss?
Yes, that's so important. That's such a good question. So the majority of the calories that we burn in a day is actually from our resting metabolic rate. This is what our body does to take care of itself. So blinking, our heart beating, thinking, digesting food, everything that's going on head to toe burns a lot of calories. We just don't realize it because we don't feel like,
Right.
you know, it's doing anything. But if you looked at a metabolic test, the majority of the calories that your body burns is from that resting metabolic rate 24 hours a day. Now, if you, this is what I was kind of saying earlier, if you eat too few foods or too few calories, your body is going to slow down that resting metabolic rate because it doesn't know that, okay, you're trying to diet, you're trying to lose
Right.
weight. It thinks, I'm going into starvation mode, I'm never going to eat again.
I have to conserve.
You have to conserve. So it slows down the resting metabolic rate and it hangs on to everything you have.
Okay.
So you're harming yourself instead of hurting yourself.
And so we see a lot of people, and I'm specifically talking to women here, where 1,200 calories, and that's all I'm going to eat. But as everyone is a different human and has different needs, our metabolic rate is going to vary from individual to individual. So there's no one size fits all for calories.
Exactly. So true. We used to, say that the general calorie intake is 2,000 calories. That was like on all the food labels, but it is so individualized. Now, I will say, as far as resting metabolic rate goes, the taller the individual, the more the individual weighs, the more body there is to take care of.
Right.
So someone that is taller, someone that's 5'8" versus 5'4", they are going to burn more calories. They're going to have a faster metabolic rate.
Okay. All right. That's awesome. Okay. Let's see. I lost my questions here. All right. Going back to just a general question, and this is one that we all struggle with. What is, or why do you think so many of us struggle with nutrition and what to eat, how to eat? I know that's a very wide.
No, but it's, let me get a drink. Food is good. It tastes good, but God made us that way. He gave us taste buds to enjoy food, but it's the self-control, the discipline that comes along with it. So that is one of the reasons it tastes good. Number two, there's so much misinformation.
Yeah, for sure.
So much incorrect information out there, and it's so confusing, and people are trying to make good choices, but they just don't have the right information, and it's sad, and that's what I just love about, educating about nutrition.
Yeah, because you can help them, so you can still enjoy food.
Enjoy
all the things, but just learn the proper ways on how to consume it. Okay, so we've all heard things like abs are made in the kitchen and you can't out-train a bad diet. Those are things I have totally said to my clients. So I can only help you to a certain degree. If your diet is not on point or struggling with that, that's where people like Jennifer come in. So tell us, if we're working out, how is nutrition affecting the changes we may not be seeing?
Right, exactly. So, back to the metabolic rate, the other way we burn calories can help lose weight is with movement. And so we've got our activities of daily living that we do on a daily basis, and then we've got you with exercise. So we can burn even more calories that way. But how much calories is the average? Do you know?
In a workout?
Yes.
I mean, I would say
depends.
anywhere, between 200 and 400, just a basic level.
Very basic. And that's usually what I hear, about 150 calories in a 30-minute session.
Yep.
And cardio. Okay, you can out-eat that, out-drink that amount of calories in a minute.
Yep.
So if you're eating whatever or drinking whatever, it can, overdo the exercise point. So did that answer the question?
Yeah, for sure. So, you're saying if we are working out really hard 5 or 6 days a week, or even 3 days a week, we're working hard, we're burning those extra calories, but if we're going and treating ourselves after that workout with a venti Starbucks, or, we go out on Friday night and we think it's okay to have, too sugary, alcoholic drinks
Yes.
or sodas,
Yes.
that I mean, that
Yes.
can be 400 calories easily.
Yes.
So
We're talking a sweet tea,
Yeah.
270 calories. A big coffee drink, 500-600
yes,
calories.
easily.
Margarita, 500 calories.
Yep.
So if you're aware of what you're putting into your body, then you will see those changes.
Yes. And quantity, I'm sure, has a lot to do with that, which we're
Yes.
probably going to talk about in
Yes.
a little bit. So, okay, just a couple more questions. So, if someone wants to start changing their eating habits today,
Yes.
what would you say your top 3 suggestions are that you would tell them?
Okay. So first, I would talk about eating on a regular schedule. Okay. So I would go back to that eating every 4 to 5 hours.
Okay.
So you're not getting into that fasting, that slowing that metabolic rate down. But with that 4 to 5 hours, you have to eat the right combination of foods,
Okay.
which is so important, because if you're putting the wrong foods, and I don't mean bad foods, just wrong foods or wrong combination of foods, it's not going to keep you satisfied.
Right.
So you're going to be putting these calories in, but you're still going to be physically hungry, and then we go and eat more calories.
Those empty calories.
Yes.
That's why we eat things that are, unfulfilling and empty, and then we wonder why we're hungry an hour or 2 later.
Exactly.
So what you're saying is, if you eat the right combination of foods, you should be satiated for a certain amount of time.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's a perfect leeway into some demonstrations you have for us. Tell us what you've got right here.
Okay, so I've got about a 9-inch plate. Okay, so if we start with a medium-sized plate, okay, not super small but not super large. If we portion out our plates, it's going to be easier, so we're not always having to weigh and measure and get out the scale. So it's an easier way to portion out your plate.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Okay, so if we have our plate, we want to start with a quarter of the plate of lean protein.
Okay.
So we've got chicken, turkey, pork tenderloin, center cut pork chop, fishes, shellfishes,
Okay.
and lean red meat.
Okay.
It's these protein foods that keep you satisfied 4 to 5 hours. They help protect muscle
Okay.
and burn fat stores.
Which is what we want.
This is what we want, which can actually help increase your resting metabolic rate.
Right.
So you've got to have this protein to keep you satisfied that 4 to 5 hours.
Okay, let me pause you here for a
Yes.
second. So I have been experimenting the last few weeks with giving up meat. So
Good.
if we have someone who's watching who
Yes.
is a vegetarian
Yes,
or
yes.
practicing that right now, what would you eat here
Yes.
instead?
So we can do, it depends on what type of vegetarian, but if you're doing dairy, you
Okay.
can do a Greek yogurt,
Okay.
which has double the protein that regular yogurt does.
Okay.
Cottage cheese, low-fat cottage cheese.
Okay.
We can do eggs, we can do beans, we can do soybeans or tofu.
Okay.
So those are some
Choices.
choices.
Okay,
there.
all right, awesome. Okay.
Okay. Then we want to do the other quarter of the plate of a fruit or starch.
Okay.
Now, why I say fruit or starch? Because they're both carbohydrates.
Right.
That's what they are. Fruit, though, has vitamins and minerals and fiber, and you can get more volume for less calories.
Okay.
Okay? So, a quarter of the plate, fruit. If you were to choose a starch, the starches have all carbohydrates. If you get whole grain or whole wheat, they're going to have fiber, so you're going to get some more benefit out of that. It's going to keep you full a little bit longer.
Okay.
But the serving size is so small.
Yes.
And the carbohydrates are higher. So,
Okay.
for example,
So this is going to be like if we did sweet potato.
sweet potato,
Okay.
pasta, rice. Sweet potato would be a little bit different.
Okay.
But pasta or rice, the serving size is a third of a cup.
And that is just to the rim.
Just to
That's
the
not
rim.
a heaping.
This is level. So to me, this is about 2 bites.
Yeah, that's
you know,
not a
it's
lot.
just not a lot.
It's not. So you're getting more by choosing
Yes.
the fruit.
We've got 3/4 of a cup here.
Okay.
So a lot more volume from the fruit.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, that's crazy.
It
All right.
is.
All right. Let's move on to
Okay.
the next thing.
So then we have half of your plate we want to be made up of the non-starchy vegetables.
Okay.
Broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, tomatoes, zucchini, onions, mushrooms, the list goes on and on. But these vegetables are low in fat, low in carbs, but high in vitamins and minerals and fiber.
Okay.
So you get all this bang for your buck, I like to say. You get all of this nutrition for very little calories.
Okay.
So half the plate vegetables, a quarter protein, a quarter of fruit or starch.
Okay. And this is a lot.
It
I don't
is.
know if I could eat this whole thing in one sitting. So, I mean, to me, this looks like a large plate of food.
Yes.
And like you said, it's the right combinations of food.
Right.
So this would be...
Yes, and back to the right combination of
Yes.
foods. The carbs, so the fruit and the starches are broken down within an hour, super, super quickly.
Wow.
So if you ever find yourself getting physically hungry, say you're going a long time between lunch and dinner, you're going more than 4 to 5 hours.
Okay.
Well, you need to have something
Right.
there, but you wouldn't want to grab just a fruit.
Okay.
Or just some crackers, something
Okay.
like that, because it's not going to keep you full to that.
So what
next
would
meal.
you choose then?
So
in
you
that
would want
snack?
a combination.
Okay.
So you'd want, the carbs to give you some fuel, but then pair it with some protein.
Okay.
So if we go back to like some fruit and cottage cheese.
Okay. All right. What about nuts?
So
Let's talk about fats.
okay, let's
All
talk
right.
about fats. Fats. We need fats. Okay.
Yes.
You need fats to transport and absorb fat soluble vitamins. You need them to regulate body temperature, to protect your organs. But fat has more than double the calories that protein and carbohydrates do.
Wow.
So for every gram of fat that you have, there's 9 calories that come with that.
Right.
But for protein and carbs, there's 4.
Okay.
Our fat sources are very condensed. So oil, for example, 1 tablespoon of any type of oil has 14 grams of fat and 120 calories.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So it just depends on the portion.
Right.
How much of it are you using?
Yes.
A lot of times we hear, okay, olive oil is good for me, so I'm gonna put it in the pan and on the vegetables and
Yep,
everywhere.
yes.
When really, and then you're like, well, why am I not? What's happening here?
Yes.
And it's because
Overuse.
overuse.
Okay.
Overuse. Nuts are a great combination food. They've got protein, they've got fiber, they've got healthy fats in them. Okay, so these are the heart healthy fats. So you just have to be mindful again of how much you eat.
Okay.
1/4 of a cup is typically the serving of nuts.
Okay.
Nuts are one of those things that are salty and they're crunchy and they're easy to get your hands into.
Yes.
So you can have them, but use like the 100-calorie packs, or go ahead and measure
Okay.
out your own and put them in a Ziploc
Okay,
bag.
that's a great idea because it is. It's easy. It's an easy snack. They
Yes.
taste good. You can just get handfuls and handfuls, and you think, oh, this is healthy. This is great.
Yes.
But then at the same time, you're like, okay, well, why am I not?
Exactly.
Why am I not seeing the results? And you can do too much of a good thing, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
That is awesome. Very helpful information. I love the visual aids for us visual learners.
Yes.
Okay, so I've just got 2 more questions for
Okay.
you. I'll let you get some water. All right, what would you say you enjoy most about being a dietitian?
I love, one, that it's a relationship, because when I see my clients, I see them for a long time. It's not like I see them one time and I never get to see them again. So I get to watch them learn. I love to see when I tell them something, the look on their face like, oh my gosh, I never knew that.
Yeah.
And so they learn and then they grow and they change right in front of my very eyes. And it's not about the number, it's not about the weight. It's, now I can get out and do things. Now I can shop like I want to. Now I can play like I want to, So
Yeah.
it's just
Quality of life.
Yes.
It's a whole, you probably see people just like I do, it's a change in their whole life because they're enjoying things, they're feeling
Yes.
better about themselves,
Yes.
they're healthier.
Yes.
So it affects everything, and
Yes.
you have to have those things together
Yes.
to really be successful. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more here at the end. If someone has more questions or they're interested in reaching out to you about help with nutrition and dietary needs, tell us the name of your business again, and then how we can find you on the web.
Yes. So, Nutrition Innovations, Jennifer Clark. I would love, love, love to work with you and help you and teach you. And you can go to my website. It's nutritioninnovations.org, and that's where my contact information is, email,
Good.
phone number.
And
all
I'll
that.
share that too along with this video, so you can click the links if you want to ask Jennifer any more questions. Thank you so much
Thank
for your time
you.
today
Thank
and
you.
sharing all this awesome information with us.
Okay. Hope it was
It's been great
helpful.
talking.
Yeah, you
All
too.
right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
See ya.